Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 1st to the 8th. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to just jump right in, Leo. Yeah, you got a little guest star here. She really wants to hear what is going to happen for Leos this week. And just a reminder, this is a landmark month, okay? We as a collective have never experienced a month like this with aspects that are going to propel you into your brand new era. But as you know, you can't take everything with you, including old structures, old ways of thinking, patterns, and the kitchen sink. Okay? You can bring your dog. Now, the timing is actually perfect this week. Okay? This is going to be a week that's a lot of healing, a lot of change, perhaps some unpredictable events. So it's kind of a warm up to next week when you got Saturn moving into Aries. You know what else happens the rest of the month. So you really have to think about the new you this week, right? Because you are still riding the wave of the 5-planet conjunction we had in Aquarius. We're still in Aquarius season. Aquarius rules the future. And it's gonna play a big role this week, all right? Which, as you can see, a lot that we did not discuss in your monthly forecast is up on the whiteboard. And I'm not going to repeat anything that I said in your monthly forecast, okay? But we do have to talk about this full moon in your sign. Sunday, February 1st. And that's why I'm starting with you, Leo, okay? This full moon at 13 degrees. Now, here's the thing. I want you to think about what happened for you July 25th, the corresponding new moon that was in your sign. There can be something here that reaches a turning point, and it's in your sign. You're a fire sign. You are going to feel fired up. This is a full moon that it doesn't let you hide, and for many reasons. But this full moon is all about being honest with yourself and others, because we do have 5 planets still in Aquarius all week. That's your opposite sign. So there is a lot of emphasis on love and relationships and partnerships and your personal relationships, unions, commitments, contracts, agreements, things like that, okay? And yes, a lot of this can have to do with work because it looks like there's going to be some big movements in work, but you're still embracing your individuality. Even your rebellious side is going to come out a little bit because you're craving freedom and mental stimulation. And this full moon in your sign allows you to fully express your authentic self. Now, Aquarius is the mind. You, Leo, are the heart. You've got this great mind-heart coherence here. So what a great full moon to receive those signals. Yeah? Your thoughts could be charged emotionally, okay? Your emotions charged thoughtfully. And with full moons as being emotional in general, this one's going to fill you with great passion. It's very you being unapologetic, like you don't care what others think or say. You do you. This is your full moon, right? This is you giving yourself permission to be true to you, especially when it comes to all the things that make you, right? Emphasis on your relationships and love. Like I said, family, creativity, creative projects, and your passions. But let it be known is going to be your mantra today. Because, this full moon, it is joyful. There's you feeling this confidence, right? You've got the stage. You're not a backup singer. You're Leo. You're the lion. You got the roar. So yeah, this full moon, it can be a little dramatic, but therein lies the point, right? Your world is your stage. So allow yourself to radiate. And just so you know, by the way, with the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius that's happening in 2 weeks from now, you're going to get a little bit acclimated to the energies that you're going to feel starting this summer. As you know, North Node is moving into Aquarius, South Node in your sign. So we're going to move on to the, Aquarius Leo axis. And so you really are going to have a lot of emphasis on partnerships and relationships. And I would not be surprised if you have a new one this month. Again, a lot of it looks very good for both love and marriage, as well as business, as well as work. Okay. Now, if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your, dentist, or your husband who's a dentist, or whoever, fixed signs. Taurus, you obviously, Scorpio, Aquarius, will feel this full moon the most. And if you've got any planets in your natal chart, 11 to 15 degrees in any of those signs, yes, those planets will obviously be aspected. You're going to feel this the most. But really great time to, have release, because Monday, February 2nd, well, you got Mercury in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries at 23 degrees. Now, this is going to be the first of 4 sextiles with Chiron this month, Chiron being the wounded healer. So this is where you go deep to heal, all right? Emotional, subconscious wounds, right? To transform any pain into wisdom, even to help others, okay? So it's perfect under the portal of your full moon. This is asking you to clear the decks, especially with your identity, with confidence, right? Self-esteem, anything that you feel has been holding you back. All right. It's in Aries too. That's your 9th house, right? With Chiron and Aries. So a lot of it has to do with your views, your, spiritual views, your philosophies, even just, this is asking you to just broaden your horizons. And Aquarius and Aries, they're very similar. They're very independent. They love their freedom. They do their own thing. There is this level of self-sufficiency. All right. So being proactive with this aspect, with this sextile, that gives you the opportunity to heal. So this can be truly cathartic and even profound, because Mercury is in Aquarius. That's freeing your mind. It's accepting truths. It's feeling inspired about your future. And again, this has a lot to do with relationships, partnerships, love, and marriage, and even like I said, personal relationships. Your relationship, with your a private chef, wherever that energy is. But that's very possible you're going to have like deep conversations with others, because this is healing through words. Okay, there's this raw honesty. This is releasing anything that's bottling up inside. All right, especially with connecting with others. So this aspect I truly love. I think it allows you to vibrate at this high frequency to attract what you deserve. Yeah, the higher the frequency, the more you manifest, right? And this just allows you to ascend. It brings relief and support. It liberates, and it's progress. But remember, you have to put in the effort, right? So air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And I am going to throw in the fire signs. So Aries, Sagittarius, and you. I'm also going to throw in Virgo. We'll feel this the most. Planets 21 to 25 degrees in any of the fire or air. You will really feel it. Now, Tuesday, February 3rd. Yeah, there's every day pretty much. You've got Uranus stationing direct, 27 degrees. We talked about this in your February forecast. Just remember, this is Uranus, right? The planet of surprises, the unexpected breakthroughs, innovation, wake-up calls. He's out of hibernation. He's checking in. He's clocking in. You're going to feel this, okay? And like I said, if you felt that things were stalled a little bit with career, well, here you go. Uranus is in Taurus. That's your 10th house of career. It's also recognition. If you're not here for career, it's just wherever you're putting in your energy where you want to be recognized, okay? And so this is very public facing. There is an element of just the fact that you've got this full moon in your sign. There's an element of fame with your sign. This is the house of fame, the 10th house. So there could be something here. There could be something here. And so Uranus in Taurus, right? Taurus wants stability. But Uranus is just like, nah, yeah, no. So in general, from this point forward, you might start shaking things up in career. You might have sudden realizations that your routines, that your career path, that, maybe the job that you're at, maybe your profession, maybe things that you're passionate about, maybe they're just not what they used to be. And it's the same with relationships, finances as well, things that you value. So this is your opportunity to step out of your comfort zone. All right. And also Uranus, yes, is also chaos and breakdowns and upheaval. Okay. So you really want to work with Uranus's energy and not resist change. Okay. Now, the other, and yeah, we're going to talk about this in your second spread, or in the second spread. The moon obviously is going to be in Virgo, right? But that is your second house of money. And so when you do the math, there's emphasis on money, relationships, your values, but also career. So there may be some changes and adjustments that you want. Now, Wednesday, February 4th, you do have Venus in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. So just like Mercury, sextile Chiron, same thing, but this is more diplomatic. It's more heart-centric. It themes around relationships and love. Yeah. And yeah, business partners too. Venus is money, so there's money energy all around this week for you. There's repairing trust with this aspect, redefining relationships as well. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable. It's very sisterhood of the traveling pants. Okay, they're so empowered in the end. This is you, all right? And you may be a little bit more sensitive than normal. It's, you have a full moon that's very emotional. You've got Venus, sextile Chiron. Remember, Saturn's moving into Aries next week, joining Neptune, who's already in Aries. So that is the spiritual warrior archetype. This healing that you're doing right now is necessary for your journey to become that spiritual warrior, because Chiron, he shows you your scars, and it's up to you to turn them into battle scars. You don't eradicate wounds. You learn how to live with them. That's self-love. That's what empowerment is. Okay, so this day, tell yourself you won't let your wounds define who you are. Yeah? So the other thing is, the moon in Virgo will trine Uranus and Taurus. That is your second house of money, your 10th house of career. We'll talk about the second spread. Now, Thursday, February 5th, you got Mercury in Aquarius, square Uranus. Yeah, Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus, meaning Mercury is like the iPhone. Uranus would be like the cell tower. All right, so there is going to be a transmission this day. This can be a little bit of a jolt. They can make you feel a little bit restless, but it's that genius energy, that Aquarius is known for, that Mercury in Aquarius is known for. Remember, Uranus is also the ruler of Aquarius. Use this aspect, okay? If everybody on your block is selling hamburgers, sell hot dogs. That's genius. This aspect, think outside the box. That's what it wants you to do, especially with any circumstances that have to do with relationships or money or finances or career, business partners, contracts. You could have, there you go, baby. All right. You could have these radical ideas that come out of nowhere. Yeah. That you can, monetize. You can sell for $20 or 20 million, right? You create your reality. But of course, with Uranus being the unexpected, it is Mercury and Uranus in a square. So be mindful of your words, the way that you communicate. Yes, this is a time to be different, to think different, to do different, but be mindful as well. Like, don't send your Love is Blind audition tape to your boss. Yeah? Anyway, a lot of rebellious energy with this too. So be responsive, not reactive. Always remember, reality is created by the mind, and we can change our reality by changing our mind. Thank you, Plato. And it's that simple. okay? Having that level of perspective. And you may feel this a little bit like day before, day after. It will be the fixed signs. You, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, that's going to feel this the most. I'm throwing in Gemini and Virgo as well. If you've got any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs, there you go. There you go. And then I would prepare for an emotional weekend. Leo, there might be a lot of energy around home too. And one of the reasons I say that, well, first, Friday, February 6th, you do have Mercury moving into Pisces. It's going to be here all month long. All right. Remember, Mercury in Pisces is poetry in motion. Communication can be a little bit softer, speaking more emotionally with greater imagination, intuition. This is great for artists, artistic types, great for the healing arts like meditation, spirituality. It's dreamer energy, but it's dreamer energy. So details and facts and logic, they can all just get a little lost in the sauce, okay? Especially when it comes to relationships for you. It's your 8th house. Not only relationships, but like building relationships. This is a hyper-focused week for relationships for you, especially with communication. Again, that can be love, that can be business. This is all about investments for you as well. What are you going to do with all the money you saved up? Things like that. Like, what should we do with this money? Where should we invest? 8th house is also, truly your legacy. It's intimacy as well. And, it's shared resources. 8th house usually requires someone else. But either way, you're going to remember, this is your Venus is going to move into Pisces. Sun's going to move to Pisces. There's going to be a lot of energy that's going to start building up here. All right. So communicate and think with compassion, and inspiration, even metaphors. That's sort of the language of Mercury and Pisces. Yeah. Now, one of the reasons why I say this may be emotionally moving weekend for you, or an emotional weekend for you, and with a lot of emphasis on home and family and your loved ones and the foundations of your life, is because the moon will be in Scorpio. That will start on Saturday. You have the moon in Libra. Friday, yeah, relationships, partnerships. Libra rules your 3rd house of communication. You're going to be communicating a lot. But the moon in Scorpio, as we know, already has a kick to it, adds intensity here. And the moon will actually square Pluto, Scorpio's ruler. Just FYI, there are a lot of relationship stuff here for you. We'll talk about it more in the second spread. But Sunday, now you've got Venus square Uranus. So Venus is in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus at 27 degrees. This happens twice a year. Yeah, you're going to feel this days before, days after. And you might, even moving into the weekend, already have a sense that there may be a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit of a, wake up call, maybe even a breakup or breakthrough. It's Uranus. But through it all, there is this sudden need for freedom over comfort, especially in relationships, finances, yeah, career for you. But relationships, big time relationships here, money. So keep that in mind. You might also just feel very unpredictable. Okay, you might quit your job on the spot. You might end a friendship on the spot. You might unfollow someone on social media. You might quit doing lunch at Waffle House on Tuesdays. Whatever it is, there's something here wherever you feel limited. Yeah, all right. This is 2 fixed signs. You're another fixed sign. Okay, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's you working with this energy. The difference, again, as I explained your monthly forecast, is that there is mutual reception here. Venus is Taurus's ruler. Uranus is Aquarius's. So they're hosting each other. There is a bit of compromise and cooperation. Okay, so yeah, there can be breakthroughs, but it can come with a little bit of chaos. Just expect the unexpected. All right. Now, let's get started. And again, use it. You can use these aspects. They have the energy of these big wake up calls that you can change everything. Uranus is change. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Leo, for February 1st to the 8th. Leo, sun, moon, and rising. Leo. What a week. What a week. This is going to be a really big week. Especially because you're already again, you listen, you know it's going to be a big week. All right, Leo, y'all, come on. Y'all crack me up. Stop. Leo, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to put clarifiers, you know we will. You also know that y'all are amazing. This is going to be a big week for you. A lot of things going to be illuminated. A lot of things wrapping up. Yeah? Some things are going to be wrapping up for you. All right? Leo. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So you're going to be fine, but there is a little bit of everything that I just said. As you can see, there's a lot of pentacles here. You got the Page of Pentacles. So great. A lot of y'all are looking for new jobs. A lot of y'all are looking to invest. A lot of y'all have money like on your mind. And this is really great because a lot of y'all could do that this week. This is the week that you could have be on the search of something new. Something that you really, truly, like you're starting from scratch. You really want to build something up. And it doesn't have to be career. It could just be anything that you want to monetize. But also at the same time, Pentacles are your physical realm, right? Your physical reality. So they could even be something that you're getting that's, like really great and very helpful for your path forward. Maybe you did need that printer. Okay. And then you got it. And now you can print the book that you're working on because you've got Neptune in Aries, which is very it's in your 9th house of publishing, by the way. A lot of you are going to be writing books. And that's that would be more like fantasy, sci-fi novels. Yeah, okay. Especially with Mercury and Pisces, with that dreamer, imagination, all of that. But anyway, this is really great. So something could be, you're moving into something, right? So there is this, again, with that full moon, something ending. It could even be something that you're aspiring for, but it does feel like it's very optimistic energy moving into this week. A lot of y'all are there's something new. And it can be a relationship as well, but expect to feel pulled in a certain direction. It does feel like a calling for a lot of y'all. Yeah, the Five of Swords and the Heart-Ear spread. How interesting the Five of Swords is an Aquarius card. And obviously with the full moon, the sun in Aquarius and several other planets, including, Mars is still in Aquarius, right? So they're going to be opposite that full moon, right? The moon in your sign. So there you go. There may be something here with relationships, okay? Where there's a disconnect, where you see the jagged clouds, not fluffy. Yeah. Fives are challenge cards. So just be very mindful. Like I said, especially with Mercury square Uranus, like the words that you say, the way that you're communicating, even body language, like all of that. Okay. The inflection in your voice, like all of that translates. And so there is a sense of it does feel we all know that just the archetype of Leo in general, represents pride. Okay. And I'm not saying that's him. That's just known in astrology. But that is coming up a little bit. The other thing that's coming up a little bit more is almost like there's this, we need to hash it out, but like guns ablazing. Like we need to, yeah. And again, it can be career. It can be anything with relationships. So keep that in mind. For a lot of y'all, it's going to be friendships too. Um, but yeah, okay. Just be very mindful this week. Remember, it's all about healing. Now, what's interesting about what I just said is that you have the Hierophant in your challenge area. So, two things here. It does look like there is something here about marriage. All right? It does look like there may be some moments where you're going to make some decisions about the future of marriages. For a lot of y'all, yes, it's something that may have to do with legal matters or the courts or the law. I mean, that's literally the ninth house as well. All right. So keep that in mind. This is still all about your truth. You have to be true to yourself and being honest with yourself. Now, the second thing is, it does look like with the Hierophant in your challenge area, there is someone that may not be the best person to give you advice. There may not be someone who is the best person to, I mean, maybe you could have just outgrown this person. That person could have changed in a way, like you trusted this person and you got all that sage wisdom from that person, but lately it might feel a little like, like if you know. So there may be someone that could be, no longer on your journey moving together forward. Someone, again, just think of someone that may have given you, been there for you, and now it's not resonating with you anymore. Yeah, because you also got the Hermit in your crown. This is you going deep. A lot of this has to do with you, self value, self worth. This is you really doing that soul searching, and this is you. There may be a little bit of confusion about what is next. Which way do I want to go? Well, you got to go deep. You got to go deep. You got to connect with your intuition. You got to connect with your higher mind, all of that. And so you've got Neptune and Aries in your ninth house, which is very spiritual. That's, really tapping into that inner wisdom. Yeah. And even sharing that with others. But take that time for you. I mean, it is a potent full moon. And then you got the Four of Pentacles in the root of your spread. So a lot of this may have to do with money. And again, just moving forward, like maybe you feel the ground beneath your feet is just a little like, oh, and you just want that stability. Yeah. So keep that in mind as you move forward. You want to build bridges, not burn them, right? When we talk about stability, remember Saturn is building that bridge for you and will be. He's at a very critical point this week, right? He's going to be at that 29-degree point before moving into Aries. And so just keep that in mind, all right? Because he's still in your 8th house, which is building relationships, okay? And the North Node is there too. So there may be something here where that honestly could be a lot of this is representative things that have to do with home and family. And again, the foundations of your life, like even, relationships, if that's the core of what's going on for you and that's where you feel that safety. Remember, the Four of Pentacles, it really is bringing a lot of attention to finances too. Yeah. But you got the Queen of Pentacles in your future. Great. There you go. You drop those swords. You go within. You bring a little flexibility here, but also just, that structure moving forward. Really get into the heart of everything, knowing what you have to do moving forward to have that stability. And again, be flexible with Uranus. You have the Queen of Pentacles. And there's something magical about the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, she is the richest queen, too. She's in your future. And so there is something here that feels like there's your stability, but here's your new world, right? In fact, she has the resources to build the world that she wants to live in. And there is a sense of comfort and care that she does provide. And so a lot of, again, like nurturing energy, but a lot of just energy around the home and things that people within your world. Yeah. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. Just that, right? Let's get to your stuff. Leo, how are y'all doing? What is my question for you? My question for you, Leo, is I didn't have one. What are you going to do for the full moon? You got this full moon. You can do like a little manifestation, all of that. Okay. Just really spend some time. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, share, hype, all that. But leave comments. Tell me what's going on. I really want to know what's happening. This is going to be a big week for you, Leo. It's a big full moon. It's a big full moon. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You're gonna be fine. Again, yeah, but you do have the Nine of Cups. Amazing. And so that's what I was talking about earlier, raising your frequency. Yeah, raising your frequency, feeling good about everything that it's going to. Look at the Chariot, right? And your final outcome. So everything that is going to happen for you, like even thinking about your goals, thinking about how good it will feel when you get there, right? So the Nine of Cups is a card of total satisfaction. So I want you to feel that. And it's the Nine of Cups. It is the wish come true card. He's sitting there like a genie in a bottle. But there is a lot of enlightenment here. And I want you to feel that, because this is such it's a card that is very high frequency. There is a lot of joy here. And like I said, it's like you getting what you want. And so in order to get what you want, you got to know what you want. All right. And even if you don't, even if you're, conflicted, because this could also be you just mentally, the tug of war that's happening up here. What did I say earlier? Don't bottle things up, and it's all about compassion as you communicate. You do have that Seven of Pentacles in your external factors area. I think that there is someone that is kind of, it's almost like someone's reviewing. It's like there's someone that is in the same boat as you. All right. So it can be a relationship. It can be love. It can be something with career. It can be about your future investments. But there may be someone that may be sitting on the fence. But something that's coming through is like, it's almost like you're being reviewed. Like, is someone like maybe like you're applying for a promotion or a new job or a new career? I mean, that all of that is possible. It could also be like for a loan. It could be, it just feels like there's something there. Okay. Something being processed. Yeah. Now you have that Six of Wands, which is great, where you can have it all. You can have that fame and success and prosperity and just, this eminence. But again, you have to put in the effort this week, because, you do have these sextiles, which are windows of opportunity, but you also have these squares that you have to work around. All right. And so this is actually your card. The Six of Wands is attributed to Jupiter in Leo. Okay. And so again, you're look at that with the Chariot and your final outcome. That's amazing. It's speaking of like independent, speaking of someone who just does his own thing. He's just, there we go, blasting forward in his Chariot to go pursue everything that he wants. And through his journey up until this point, he's learned a lot and he's applying it. And again, remember, that's a lot of just you feeling empowered. Any experiences that you may have gone through, whether they were something that that was joyful and brought you a lot of bliss, or they could have been things that are a little bit more challenging. It doesn't matter. As long as you learn from those experiences, that's karma, right? That's you empowering yourself just like him. And he's got so much willpower. And so I think that this is a great sign with a Chariot, because you see the two Sphinxes. And so that's indicative of, a couple, two paths that you can take, but it doesn't matter which path, because you're in control. You have to have that confidence that these paths are opening up for you. And with a week like this, you're going to have some paths ending. When something ends, something new begins. Yep. Especially with that full moon in your sign. And even with the Sphinxes, yeah, they bring a little bit of mystery. So does Uranus, brings a little bit of that unpredictability. So does a lot of the aspects that are happening this week. When you throw in Neptune, when you throw in Mercury and Pisces, again, that can be a little bit like, what? So it's all about going within. Mercury and Pisces, even that itself is very like going within, trusting your intuition. Yeah. Anyway, it's very spiritual too. Leo, you're going to be fine. I think there's just some adjustments here. It's being mindful about communication, even the thoughts that you have. They're, with a full moon in Leo, yes. With, the moon being in Scorpio, yes. They're, just some of the aspects that are happening around this time. You got Jupiter and Cancer in your 12th. The lower expression of that would be, like hidden enemies. I mean, there could be a lot here where there could be elements of like jealousy as well. And so you do you be your authentic self as long as you're doing that heart-based living and you have that self-love, okay? You're going to be fine. I'll even clarify that Five of Swords for you. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there's your affirmation, okay? So you're going to be good. You got the Star, another Aquarius card. So again, it's really alluding to not only your future. Aquarius rules the future, but for you, that is your 7th house. So a lot of emphasis on relationships and commitments and contracts and agreements. But the Star, just beautiful. Everything aligning for you. What a twist. Look at what Uranus does, right? Uranus being Aquarius' ruler. And this is self-expression. This is freedom. This is, that inner wisdom and knowledge and healing. Yeah. The Star comes after the Tower. So you're good, Leo. Thanks so much. Next week, we will go. Yeah. Next week, again, a lot of major stuff happening this month. Next week, obviously, Saturn is going to move into Aries, but there's just so much more. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, and yeah, y'all are amazing. Oh, and the second spread, yes, we're going to go through a lot of these lunations. I mean, just the moon in Scorpio over the weekend can bring some intensity. Remember, you already have Mercury and Pisces in your 8th house. That is Scorpio's home. You have Pluto in Aquarius that's activated with a stellium. Okay? There's so much relationship stuff, partnership stuff, business partners as well. And, oh, by the way, the day that this video comes out, which will be the big day, right? My birthday, to celebrate, I am giving access to some videos on Great Awakener predictions, my channeling videos, free access, right? On the 28th to whenever I remember to flip the switch. But anyway, also, I am about 80% out of my vortex that I've been going through. So again, I want to thank you for all your kindness and all your support and your messages. It really is very meaningful. So Leo, anyway, y'all are amazing. Okay, thanks so much. I will see you next week. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.